And we would be remiss not to give everybody the lane assignments here because we do have a 7-boat race. So for the men's novice Cox Quad, lane 1, Seattle Prep, lane 2, Bainbridge Island, lane 3, North Cascades, lane 4, Pocock, lane 5, Tacoma Rowing, lane 6, Lake Oswego, and lane 7, Vashon Island. So we do, again, have a 7-boat race, and you can see them now coming up in the distance about 12:50 or so into the race, and we should see them crossing that orange buoy, which indicates that we only have 500 to go shortly.
Mamma mia. Here we go again. This is pretty exciting.
That was a good one. And let's again see if we can pull up our eagle eyes here. And it looks like I have a very recognizable prep quad.
There you go.
In the lead here, but followed very closely. Let me see if I can grab that. We have a pretty tight race here, but also a little bit of a spread in the back. So all the way across, it's looking like it could be, I want to say lane 6, but
yeah,
let me
it
make
does
sure
look like
that I
Lake
have
Oswego in second.
everybody in view. That's right.
Yeah.
It's so easy for us to miss somebody on the outside with these pilings in our way here.
Yeah, I think we are seeing Prep in first, and I think that is
you're right.
Lake Oswego in second. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it looks like Bainbridge potentially in third there on the right of our picture. And Vashon might be in fourth up there at the top of your screen over there in lane 7. So yeah, but Seattle Prep rowing really clean. For these being novice scullers, I'd just like to point out that they are working together well. It seems like they're really pushing that boat along with a lot of determination. Their drives are just exceptional. They're really getting those blades in and doing the work together, which is kind of the most important part of the stroke. You know, getting the blades in and out together is obviously important, but driving all as one is, I think, going to be the most critical part of cultivating boat speed as a novice.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm going to give that prep boat about a 30. So they're at about a stroke rate 30.
Yeah.
So pretty good. That's a pretty good cruising pace. We'll see if and when they decide to take it up a little bit towards the end here as we get towards the last few strokes or so. A couple hundred meters to go for that prep crew. And we'll see again if they decide to bring that up because they are right now the clear leader. But we would be remiss not to talk about... Let me see if I can get lane 2 right there. We have lane 2, Bainbridge Island, moving up with lane 6, Lake Oswego. So Bainbridge Island and Lake Oswego, no strangers to a strong second half here. But look at the sprint that we are seeing now from the prep.
Yeah, they might also not be strangers to love. You know, they might know the rules, and so do I. You know, as it stands. All right, Seattle Prep
good.
Crossing that finish line. Lake Oswego rocking and rolling with their second place finish there. Well done, Lake O.
That's right. Here we have our 3-seat there with those cool shades out there blocking the glare, getting him across the line, maybe a little bit of free speed there. That Coxon in lane 2 looking over all the way across the course at this Vashon Island crew just to make sure that she squeezed out right in front of them.
Way to go, Vashon.
And we have 3 boats left here on the course.
I'm a little bit disappointed. Vashon last year, I think in this event, all the rowers had bucket hats. And I was overjoyed by that last year. And I wish I could see that today, but sadly not. And here's the Pocock boat coming across the finish line. Looks like they're about to finish 5th in this 7-boat race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5th in this 7-boat race, followed by, it looks like we got North Cascades crew. Is that who I'm seeing? Yeah. I love the bright orange of the North Cascades crew. It makes me really happy.
Yeah,
super distinctive.
That is lane 3.
Yeah. That's what my hair used to look
Cascades.
like. Yeah. Cascades are very orange.
Oh, stopped rowing just a bit
before
the line there, but with a hand raised. I don't know if that was for a protest or excitement for crossing the line. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. I see some fist bumps, maybe.
But they are doing some fist bumps, so maybe just excited about crossing the line.
Just a happy day. And here we go with, this is Tacoma Rowing. Really cool note about Tacoma Rowing. I caught up with their coach, Dave Harvey. Great gentleman. This is the first time that Tacoma Rowing has been to this event. Tacoma Rowing is a newer operation, newer organization. They're kind of revitalizing the youth side of their program. And Dave was really excited to share that this is the first time that the Northwest Regional Championships has been graced by Tacoma Rowing. So big shout out to them finishing their race today. Just now crossing the line. We love to see it. Tacoma Rowing also hosts a great event here every spring, kind of at the end of the winter, early spring. It is our local Ergomania, we call it. It's the Northwest Ergomania event, and it's an indoor rowing event and just super fun. It's a lot like Crash Bees with the format. There's a lot of 500-meter sprints. There's some 5K events. There is an Hour of Power event, and of course our standard 2,000-meter. And I think that there were also some 1,000-meter sprints too. It was very well attended last year. This year there was even more attendance, and so we look forward to potentially seeing you there next year. Big plug right now for Northwest Ergomania 2025, held at Pacific Lutheran University and hosted by Tacoma Rowing. We would love to see you there. I know the announcer. He happens to be me, and he does a good job. I'm not going to say a great job, but it's all right. It's okay. All right, we've got another race coming up for you. It looks like we have another quad event. Is this a Cox quad? This is a Cox quad event. Hey, here we go. Whitney, what are we looking at with lanes for this one?
Hey, you got it. In our second final here, we have lane 2, Eugene. Lane 3, Vashon Island. Lane 4, Lakeside. Lane 5, Pocock. Lane 6, Green Lake. And lane 7, Whatcom. And again, as soon as we can get that beautiful shot here of the drone, let's see if we can get you some accurate placings. It's looking like lane 2, Eugene, is trailing just behind Vashon Island again with those teal blades. So bow to stern. Vashon Island is your leader. Trailing. Still stuck to the bow ball here of Eugene Rowing. They can't quite shake them yet.
Yeah, not quite.
Not quite. And falling back just a bit, we do have some open water here behind, but it is looking like potentially Lakeside and Pocock.
It smells like a French bakery all of a sudden, and I'm befuddled as to why, but I love it all the same. Not related to anything on screen right now, but the wind just shifted, and it all of a sudden smells like pastry, so that's cool. Yeah, it looks as though, yeah, they're walking away. Lakeside is definitely picking up more speed.
Well, croissants or crabs, we see none of them now, but here we do have our clear leader, Vashon, but we are looking now at, let's see, on our screen here, trying to get a better view of some of the boats that are just behind our leaders, just a little bit. But it's hard to see because this cinematic view here that we have of the mountain range around is absolutely spectacular here.
Breathtaking, yeah.
Hard to say. Is this Lakeside in lane 4?
That's Lakeside right there.
Yes, that's who I'm looking at. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So Lakeside there in lane 4, followed very closely by Pocock in lane 5. So a little bit of open water between those two. We do have our 3-boat race up ahead. That is Vashon Island, Eugene, and then potentially, that is hard for me to tell if that is Green Lake or Whatcom, all the way up in the field there.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a close race for the medals. Yeah, they're cooking, gang.
Yeah, exactly. And we are going to move up here, see if we can tell if that is lane 6 or 7.
Wow.
Our apologies, they're quite far away, but that is the price we pay for the beautiful drone shots. But here we go. Maybe a little bit of a steering correction here in the Eugene boat, but they are moving up very, very slowly. They're clawing their way through that Vashon Island crew, but not quite. Decks are overlapped.
Yeah.
So they have moved up a couple feet or so, but
Green Lake is cooking on the edge, though.
I was going to say, do not overlook those crews on the outside. It is so easy for them to sneak up on you. Again, because look at what we are seeing now. They are nearly, if not in front of Vashon right now. Again, from our angle, we want to be very careful calling that. But if they haven't done it yet, they are very close.
Oh, dang.
This
yeah.
is quite a race.
Yeah. I think Vashon might have just cooked it up into another gear. It looks like they were kind of languishing for a second, but I think something just turned and they realized that it was either that time in their race plan or they needed to throw the race plan out the window and move. Because, they are getting a lot of pressure over there on the side from Green Lake. And their coxswain might not even be aware of it. I'm sure that the stroke seat possibly has eyes on the Green Lake
that
crew.
coxswain's aware.
I hope so.
Yeah, they are looking over. I can see it now. We have a stern loader versus a bow loader.
Awesome.
And we are definitely having a little bit of a showdown here. Those coxswains are looking eye to eye at each other from across the course going,
That's
who's
awesome.
it going to be?
So Whitney's got her binoculars right now, so she's staring kind of ocularly down, and I'm looking at the drone screen. So she's seeing something slightly different, but it does look like they're kind of chopping and changing.
No coxswain's safe from my vision.
I love it.
I'm always watching.
And I think the Green Lake crew did pit Vashon. I think that they got it. They brought it up, and Vashon just wasn't able to maintain their speed there.
Exactly. But they are moving again because here we see them bringing up their rate. I'm going to see if I can get that for you.
Oh, goodness. Here they go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love to see it. This is what racing is all about here.
Yeah. That might be... Never mind. I think that's Whatcom?
Whatcom?
Yeah.
Whatcom in the orange?
No, closest to us here.
That's what I mean.
Okay, yeah. Is that orange or red? I think it's red.
Well, it's very hard for us to tell in the gray here. Let us see.
Yeah, we're in a gloom. We're at a bit of a gloom,
That
gang.
is red.
I thought I was going colorblind. All right, big hands up from Whatcom. They were pleased with that performance.
That's right. And look at that cheering from across the lanes there. Those guys saying, what a fantastic race to each other. That's really great to see.
Whatcom and Vashon giving each other big ups
that is
from
right.
across the pond.
Whatcom and Vashon. That's right.
Yeah, super cool to see. Last boats in this race are finishing up now. It looks like on the far side of your picture, we will be dialing in, I think that's Lakeside, just about to cruise across to the finish line. Big ups, Lakeside. Great race. Well done. Novice year. So much fun. And we really hope to see all of these athletes back here next year. I knew a fellow that started rowing in his senior year of high school and never got out of his novice year, despite being a senior, yet still was motivated to go on and row in college. And he ended up making his team at Columbia and got to row there in New York. So it was really cool. Like, no matter when you find the sport, there's always a future for you in rowing. So
phenomenal. The Columbia Lions there. My brother, national champion from Newport Aquatic Center, also rowed at Columbia there.
Cool.
So phenomenal.
That's exciting.
Great program out there.
Definitely.
We actually just had them on our show for the IRA podcast.
That's right, you did. Also streaming on overnight.com and brought to you by Whitney Powell, who is doing a great job bringing us all of the insider scoop with Sean Wolf, a fellow Northeastern rower fella.
That is right.
Yeah.
Like I said, my life the last few months has just been researching and watching rowing.
Just living, breathing, eating it.
Exactly,
nonstop.
Exactly. You know what? It could be worse, though, because right now we have a third final of the men's novice coxed quad coming up, and these finals have just been absolutely packed with action. 6 boat finals, 7 boat finals. Really, really great to see, which means this is definitely a very popular event, having 3 finals here in the men's cox quad. If you don't mind, I will at least just give some lane assignments, and then we can go right into what we're actually looking at out on the course. Lane 1, Olympia Area Rowing Association. Lane 2, Olympia Area Rowing Association A. So the first one was B, this is A. Lane 3, Seattle Prep B. Lane 4, Bainbridge Island B. Lane 5, Eugene. Lane 6, Sammamish.
All right, and our drone is in the sky, and I think catching up with them. Oh, never mind. The drone is behind me because I think there's another little bit of rain on the way. So gonna take that back about the drone, but that's okay because I think we're gonna get it back in the sky once the next little patter of rain falls. Although we don't have much racing left for you today in the schedule.
Well, As you guys know, we are doing our best to always keep the drone up. Of course, nobody wants it more than us, so we can actually give you accurate calls here for placing, because it really helps us get a visual of what is actually going on the course, rather than looking down the beach 1,500 meters, which is very difficult for us to tell who is who. So as we have this race finishing up, we have somebody crossing right now, lane 6, potentially Green Lake, from this last crew here. Finishing up there in the stern loader. As they exit the course here, we have the next one, the third final, coming down the course here now.
Yeah, and tragically, I've not heard those vuvuzelas anymore, so I wonder if U.S. Rowing has taken a page out of FISA's book and banned the vuvuzela from their shores here. Tragic. Tragic.
Tragic is one word for it. I think we'll hear plenty of sound, plenty of other action. We can hear all the cheers and screams and cowbells from
such good
shore
cowbells.
Without hearing the bamboozles, or whatever you called them, whatever those things are called.
The bamboozela favuzelas.
That's right, exactly. So as we make our way down to the shore again, as we come up to the red buoys, we have our first boat crossing into the finisher chute. Looking like lane 4, if I'm not mistaken, Bainbridge Island, led by Winston Brown. Again, I'm doing my best here.
Yeah, Winston is steering a good crew there. They look solid. That's some good sculling from that Bainbridge Island crew right there, especially for novices. Looks real solid.
Yeah, really hard to tell there. But on the outside, we definitely have Olympia Area Rowing and Seattle Prep coming up very closely behind them. Neck and neck, it is lanes 2 and 3.
Woo.
Olympia and Seattle Prep in a very, very tight battle for second here.
Yeah, and on your picture right now, those of you playing along at home, you can see that these fellas are getting their oars in really deep. Each time that they take a stroke, they are digging so deep with those oars, which it's working for them because they're all kind of doing the same thing together,
right.
But that's a lot of wasted energy.
And excuse me for interrupting too, because I want to be clear that that is Eugene in lane 5. Again, we had a little mishap with our lane numbers here, but that is actually Eugene in lane 5. Our lanes have shifted over just a bit. So just for clarity, Eugene in lane 5, hands up in the air for the victory, followed by lane 3, that is Prep. Lane 2, Olympia.
Yeah, man.
What a race between Olympia and Seattle Prep there.
Yeah. You know,
really well done. Look at these guys cheering each other.
Yeah, hands in the air if you're a true racer.
Lane 6 here, coming up next, Sammamish, led by Owen Larkin. Followed by lane 1, that is Olympia B, so the other Olympia boat will be coming across next. Rounding out our field will be lane 4, Bainbridge Island Rowing, led by Winston Brown. So very well done. Again, great racing here as a third final. So very, very tight, very close racing here for a third final for the novice quads. Really, really great to see. Again, very, very deep field. Every race has 6 or 7 boats. So that's very exciting for us to see. Again, speaks a lot to the depth of these programs and how well they are being coached out here to come out and race at a regional final. So for a lot of these crews, it's a big victory even to be here today. So really awesome to see 3 finals out here for this exciting race.
Yep, official regatta time 4:44 in the PM, and we are coming up on another race again. It's looking like the women's novice Cox quads are about to hit us, and that was scheduled to start right at 4:44. We've got a multitude of finals in this event. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3 finals in the girls.